For me, the big thing I watched this week was the new Apple TV exclusive movie called Swan Song, starring Mahershala Ali, who in this movie actually plays two separate roles, which is very weird.
Swan Song.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a
Apple's a bit
husband.
quiet lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've just been focusing a lot on their series recently, and they had a lot of like sort of sci-fi type series. So I think
Yeah, I've noticed that.
isn't necessarily up everyone's alley, so that can be an issue. But this movie just dropped, and it's about a father and husband who finds out that he has a terminal illness and he's going to die like pretty rapidly. And then he's introduced to a doctor who offers him a solution to this issue, and that is basically to replace himself with an exact clone of himself with all his memories and personality traits like injected into its brain, essentially. So it feels very much kind of like, did you ever watch Black Mirror?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it's kind of sort of like that, where it's this weird sci-fi future where there's all this crazy technology.
Yeah.
But instead of it being this dystopian story about the dangers of technology, this one's all about a heartfelt, emotional story about this guy just trying to prevent his family from going through the devastation of losing him. Like, he's got a young son, his wife's pregnant, and it's just like, this is not a good time for me to die. So he goes through this whole process of getting cloned, and sort of about him making the decision himself, because the doctor even says to him at one point, you have the ultimate power here. Like, you either tell your wife that you're going to die, and then we can't do this cloning replacement thing because it ruins it. Or you decide to do this cloning process and she's none the wiser, has no idea that it's happened. Either way, you have to make this decision for her. She doesn't have any role in this choice. So it's all about him sort of grappling with what to do and whether he himself can give up his family and let this clone basically step in and take over the rest of his life, or prolong his life, essentially.
I've got it up here, just trying to get me head around the vibe of it.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a really, I expected it to be a sad movie, and it is sad, but it's also kind of like uplifting at the end, where you go through all the struggles and pain that he's going through, but in the end, everything sort of works out okay for him. And Mahershala Ali proves once again that he's an incredible actor, especially in the scenes where he's...
the original... Oh, sorry. I just saying, I say it stars the original Cruella de Vil.
Yep.
Glenn Close.
Yep. But yeah, like especially like the scenes where Mahershala Ali is playing himself and the clone, and they're having a conversation together. Like, that must have been so hard to film, because he would have had to record one half of the conversation, get changed, record the other half of the conversation, and then they just edit that together. And it's just like, I don't know how you do that. It would have been so hard.
Very OG Eddie Murphy vibes, where he plays like what half the cast in these movies, like the Nutty Professor and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah, but like, instead of this being just like
Classic.
a goofy movie, like, this is like a full-on heartfelt drama, and really good. I think one of the cool things too is because it's produced by Apple, it's sort of, some of the tech felt like it was maybe a little glimpse into their future plans for like their phones. Yeah, so it's like,
oh, there you go. There's no doubt Apple are somehow taking over the world.
In this movie, everyone walks around with a single earbud in, which kind of is essentially just their phone, and everything like communicates to them directly. Well, I guess it's like a future AirPod, because it's just like a tiny little bud. Like, it doesn't have the little tail that hangs out of it. It's just like a bud that you sit in your ear and you can hardly even see. There's contact lenses that have like basically a heads-up display, so you can see all your messages. They have cameras in them, so it can record everything you see. It's like crazy tech. The cars are all basically just a pod with 4 seats that face each other. They drive themselves. What else was there?
So
the
it's
computers.
basically
There's
Apple feature-length Apple keynote for the year 2040.
yeah. All their computers. They're just like you just have a keyboard on the desk, and then the screen is just like projected in front of you and just like hovers, and just like seeing the way they had the systems like laid out. I was like, that feels like a big glimpse into future iOS layouts and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that was probably really cool part.
Past. Yeah,
really cool part on top of just seeing this really nice story and great acted movie.
Yeah. So what's the vibe like? Is it full on sci-fi, or is it pretty much like a feel good drama and wholesome sort of ending vibe?
Yeah, just like a full on drama. Like there's it has like those sci-fi elements, obviously, because it's the future and they're doing medical procedures well beyond what we can even comprehend
but
at the moment.
Doesn't lose
that's
touch
not
of reality.
That's not the core of the story. The story is this guy sort of living with this clone for about a week so that he can sort of get a feel for how accurate this clone is. It gets a feel for him and learns about how he interacts and think with things, and him sort of coming to terms with, okay, yes, I'm happy for this thing to go and take over my life and move forward with my family.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Really cool. Really good movie. I highly recommend it.
I haven't been on, like I said, I haven't been on Apple in a while because I haven't seen anything that's appealed to me to pop up.
Yeah,
I'll never go on there to browse. Like Apple TV isn't one you just go on to browse.
Yeah, it's a destination place you go to watch something specific. And
like Amazon.
Like their TV shows can be sort of hit or miss, but I don't think I've watched one of their movies where I've finished it and been like, that was trash. There's always something good to come out of it.
What have we got coming? Mosquito Coast. They're probably obviously doing more of that. Well, they are, but so that's like in the pipe work now.
Servant is the end of January.
Servant, really? I keep forgetting about Servant, man. I love Servant. We've spoken a lot about Servant on this show. I'm
pretty sure there's more Ted Lasso coming. Plenty of stuff.
That's huge in America, that show.
Yeah, there's plenty on there on Apple to check out. Good. Highly recommend checking out their movies at least if you haven't already. The production values and the stories have been great so far.